Now that the election are ended and all the jokes and things related to the election are finished, it's time to evaluate the real facts, the facts that Fox News wants to avoid. So there are two elements in the discussion that not everybody likes to talk, and I don't understand why. It's a problem for the Democrats, a problem from the Republicans. Even the president didn't come out clearly with his accomplishments. So this is the reason why I'm doing this video, because I want to clarify some points based on facts. Only based on facts. So whatever you will see here is just numbers, arithmetic. Nothing more, nothing less. So Fox News, take your pen and pencil and start to take note. The first fact I want to talk about is our deficit and the problems related to our deficit. The Congressional Budget Office in 2001 projected a surplus of almost $6 trillion after the $218 billion surplus of Clinton. So we were on the path to prosperity. But why now we are almost 6 trillion below zero? So it's almost $12 trillion gap respect to what was projected and what it is. It's because of what happened. First of all, the economy, recession. Recession cost us 26% of the deficit. And it was mostly caused by the Bush administration, as we all know, and the drop that we had. And as a consequence, all the tail that we had after this, because it took months and we are still in a sort of coming out of this recession. The second one is the Bush tax cuts for the rich. And you can see that the number goes down. The projected surplus goes almost to zero when we look at these numbers. That's not pretty good. And that's the reason why Obama wants to cut finally these numbers as far as concerned the 2% of the population, because we really are increasing our deficit based on that. And these are numbers from the CBO, which is a totally independent office that deal with that. The third element that actually brought our projected surplus into deficit is the Bush spendings. There are three elements of spendings with Bush administration: the two wars, the Medicare Class D, and a lot of loopholes and tax cuts for oil companies, for many other companies. This goes well beyond just the Bush tax cuts for rich people. Loophole that actually is very difficult to control. And this caused 40% practically of our deficit going down. So which is the component actually that is related to Obama? Okay, 6% is the stimulus package, but as we will see in the last pictures, the last figures, actually this is money that is coming back quite quickly, and actually the stimulus package worked in any sector, and we have the numbers for that I will show you shortly. And the second one is in general Obama policies, due to the fact that you need to spend a little bit more. The rules is this one, and people they don't understand. You need to spend when you are in a moment of crisis. In general, what's happening, you accumulate money, and you accumulate enough money during very good periods so that you can invest this money when you need, when the economy is down, so that you can stimulate the economies to restart. It's always worked. Austerity doesn't work. We already saw in Europe what's happening with austerity, and it's a disaster. All the states, all the countries with conservative prime ministers with austerity, practically they are in double-dip recession and with unemployment in double-digit numbers. So this is the reality. UK, Spain, Italy, done completely. Now, let's talk about another big piece of information American they don't want to look at. The US population has reached 314 million people. This is the last census, which was a couple of years ago. Okay, 61 million voted for Obama and 58 million for Romney. Approximately 18.5% of this population voted for Romney, and between 19.5 and 20% voted for Obama, which is peanuts. If you compare this to the other countries, the most industrialized country in the world, you have a 62% of Americans that didn't vote. Of course, some of them, they're young people, they cannot vote and so on. But a lot of them, they are not. People that are disenfranchised, and mostly, we believe, will vote for Democrats. And people that are in jail. There are tons of people in jail that have no rights to vote, which is, for me, ridiculous that you lose your right to vote, because this is a democracy. And a lot of these people are in jails for what? They are in jail for marijuana possession, which is one of the critical things in this country. Actually ridiculous, pathetic. So, whoever tells you that 0.5% of the country is against Obama is just a liar. That's not true. Because they evaluate this based only on what? On the registered voters and on the likely voters that, as we can see, are no more than 120 million compared to the 314 million people that populate this country. So this country has a voting problem that goes beyond. People don't trust. People have no right. Finally, I'll let you analyze the results of the stimulus. As you can see, when the stimulus started, the total vehicle sales started growing up constantly. And this is not just one of the numbers. You will see the other numbers after that in the other charts I'm going to show you right now. Look at the total private payroll after the stimulus started. How it turned from negative to positive. It's unbelievable. And of course, same thing for the industrial production after the stimulus. Same thing. And so for capacity utilization, same thing. The housing market, look at the way it restarted after. And of course, I don't need to explain the stock market from 6,500 to 13,000, almost 500. The household net worth together with the housing market. Retail sales up, and we know that. Gross domestic product, of course, up. Total business investments, of course, up. Corporate profits way up. And they are the ones who complain about the Obama policies, and they make more money out of everything. And the oil production went up, and this is the reason, the only reason why the prices went up, not because of Obama. So apart from the fanatism and the anti-democratic attitude of the Republican Party, now you can understand from the economical point of view why we had so much damage from the Republicans when they fired 640,000 people in the public sector, when they blocked Obama job bill and veteran bill that could create 2 million jobs, and now the unemployment could be 6%. Now it's all clear.